Then call the meeting in order at 6:34. The first item is pledge of allegiance. Pledge of allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, all right. The next item is approval of November minutes.
These are from the regular council meeting. Yes, sir.
Okay,
The first item under old business, it says, we were talking about the Pickens County Sheriff's Office, it's to proceed without the letter.
Oh, okay. We will make those changes before Randy signs off on them.
Okay, you need to make a motion to,
Make a motion that we accept the names.
okay, do I have a second?
Second.
Okay. All right, we have a motion and a second to accept the November 2nd meetings as presented. Any other discussions or corrections? Okay, if none, all in favor? Okay. Cheryl, you vote for me?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay, next item is approval of executive session minutes.
And both the resumes will be attached to these minutes and filed away.
I make a motion to accept the executive session meetings for November the 2nd as written.
Okay. We have a motion and a second. Any other discussion on the executive session? If none, all in favor? Okay. Also, by the rules and stuff, there's a generic form that will attach to this, so you're gonna make sure that we have.
Do you have that tonight, so I can do that with Buffy?
I'm not sure. I will make sure she gets that. All right. The next item is approval of November work session minutes. November 3rd. We'll go ahead. Did y'all get a copy of these minutes? The work session minutes? Okay.
I can give my copies.
Okay. Well, I'll go ahead and read it out.
That's okay.
Of course, those present was Buffy Holcomb, Andrea Watson, Don Miller, Carrie Shea, Corey Shea, sorry, and Caleb Gay. Council members present was Jesse Wells, Essie Smith, Cheryl Sounds, Mayor Randy Banks. I called the meeting to order at 6:30 during the work session. The 2018 budget, $70,000 budget was discussed. The council also discussed someone taking over tourism. Council agreed to table this discussion. Jesse made a motion to adjourn, second by SB, motion carried. Do I have a
I
motion?
make a motion that we accept the work session minutes as presented.
Okay.
I have 2 copies of that, so if someone wants a copy.
Have a second?
I'll second it.
All right. We have a motion and a second. Do I have any other discussion on? If not, all in favor? Okay. Show of hands, it's approved by, unanimously approved. Okay, all right. The next item is approval of a November call meeting. This meeting was to vote on the couple items. Mayor Banks called the meeting to order at 8:21 p.m. Cheryl made a motion to approve the 2018 $70,000 budget. Second by Esty, motion carried. Unanimous. Of course, I stated that Natasha Howard had decided not to take the town clerk position due to a conflict at her job. Cheryl made a motion to hire Buffy Holcomb as the new town clerk. Second by SB, motion carried unanimous. Jesse made a motion to change the signers of all the bank accounts. First remove SB and Cheryl. The 3 signers for the CD accounts, general account, schoolhouse account, and SPLOST account will now be Jesse Wells, Buffy Holcomb, and Randy Banks. Second by SB. Motion carried. Everybody voted unanimous on that. Second made, Jessica made a motion to adjourn. Second by Cheryl. Motion carried.
I make a motion that we accept the minutes as read.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay. I have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? If not, all in favor? Okay, unanimous. Okay. All right. Approval of November financial report.
Jesse, on Charlie's, for November the 1st, that all needs to be recycled. We don't pay him for cleaning anymore. We pay him $150 a month for recyclables.
I'll change it in December.
Yeah. And the best of North Georgia, where it's split, it just says ads and then tourism. One needs to be tourism, the other one needs to be heritage days.
It is like that, you just don't see it, but
Oh, because it's not printing out that way.
Okay. Entertain a motion.
Hold on. Please.
Why does Bonnie have 2 checks on Wednesday?
We bought some material from him, some cross ties to use out in the park.
right, see, one says park maintenance, and one's heritage days.
The wall out there along the railroad track, where it keeps washing across the walk path. You know, they had cross ties there, but they rotted out. Yeah, and he sold them to us for half the price of brand new. And they were like new.
The CD listed at 10,422, that's the schoolhouse, correct?
I'll have to verify that for you.
I'm pretty sure it is. I just want to make sure. Double check myself. Just to have that extra one show up. I make a motion that we accept the financial report.
Do I have a second?
Oh, second.
Okay. Any other discussion on it? Hearing none, all in favor? Unanimous? Okay, old business is to adopt the budget. Have a resolution here. I'll go ahead and read it out. Whereas the council budget committee reviewed the mayor's proposed operating and capital budget for the year 2018 for the town of Talking Rock, attached herein and made a part of the resolution. Therefore, this reference, and whereas the town council of the town of Talking Rock reviewed the mayor's proposed operating and capital budget for the calendar year 2018 for the town of Talking Rock as recommended by the council budget committee, and whereas the public hearing for which is on November the 27th, 2017 at 6:30 at Town Hall was duly posted and for proposed 2018 operating budget, and all relative material was made available to the interest parties. Now therefore be it resolved, the mayor and council of the town of Talking Rock adopt the 2018 operating budget. Resolved this day, 7th day of December 2017.
Make a motion to accept the resolution.
All right, we have a motion and a second to accept the resolution on the budget 2018. Any discussion? If being none, all in favor? All right. 0. Okay. Okay. Go ahead, yeah, no,
Just mine.
I thought of something there. Second item is clear the undergrowth on the undeveloped streets, which we tabled from the last meeting.
Do we have an estimate on that?
It's $600 per day, and depending on how far, I mean, estimated is $1,200. Would be 2 days to do that. I'll be honest with you, I'd rather table that till the next time. The reason being is Jeff's got some information on the 2014 SPLOST funds, so I want to make sure. I don't know what.
I make a motion we table it for the next meeting.
Okay. All right.
I'll second it.
All right. Have a motion and a second to table this to the next meeting next month. All in favor? Or any discussion? All right. Okay, this one right here is maintenance cost clarification. Okay, back and forth. I know we went back and forth on the amount. I looked at Mary's video on the meetings that and there's no clarification. I know we mentioned that it was the 2,600 was until the projects, and it said something about, in there about winter time, but there was no clarification, you know, voting to end it since the executive session minutes wasn't approved during the original. So we need to clarify when that 2,600 goes back to 1,900 by a vote. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there was, I mean, I listened to the ones that was on that subject, and we had mentioned that it goes back, but it wasn't ever voted on. So we need to vote on it when it goes back.
I'm abstaining from this vote.
So,
I understand there was some misunderstanding, but if you listen to that tape very clearly, in that motion, I said through Heritage Days. But I understand that wasn't, some people didn't understand, so we just need to make it right by those that were involved.
okay, now we got a problem, because since Jesse cannot vote because of personal reasons on that, and we don't have SB here to do the majority.
You can move it lower on the agenda
Okay, can we,
if you expect to have a
yeah,
majority later in the
yeah,
meeting.
SB's not gonna be here.
right, but we're,
Okay, I understand what you're saying,
All
okay.
right. So let's move this down to new business. Let's do, we can,
I make a motion that we move item C down to item G under new business.
okay. Okay, on that, I'm sorry, I got, like I say, due to sickness,
Can we move it to A?
well, no, what I was gonna do was move, can we move everything down a letter and A on, under new business, put a point, or, well, I tell you what,
And you can move,
Let's move it to A.
you can move
under-
B of new business up if you want to go ahead and
okay,
get more people.
okay, all right, let's go ahead and do,
Are they gonna be sworn in?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, under new business, let's go ahead and take care of item B on the appointment of vacant council seats.
I guess somebody should make a motion to move it up on the agenda.
Yeah. what do you
Okay, I make a motion that we move item B under new business up to item D on old business?
Sure.
think? Yeah, okay. Because it technically is, okay.
Yeah.
All right, okay,
She makes a motion, I'll second.
all right. Okay, any discussion? Okay, if none, all in favor? Okay, I'm sorry for the confusion. Terry's son is sick, also Ashby is, and we're trying to adopt a budget and everything, and that's why it's so,
Trying to get in is what we have to get in. I'm in the
Yeah.
process of moving too, so.
yeah, so anyway, so next item was appoint vacant council seats. Yeah, but I'll go. We have one that had to resign, move to Oklahoma, or he moved to Oklahoma. The other one that just got elected to the seat after speaking to per our charter and speaking to Julie Roberts out at the elections office. Don Miller, which is the one that just got elected. Due to health reasons, he's not going to be able to take the seat. But we've got two. One is Caleb Gay, which is going to take Jim's seat and fill out his remainder. Or I recommend that we appoint him. Let's put it that way. I recommend that we appoint him to fill out the remainder of Jim's seat term. And then James Bryant, fill the term of Don Miller.
Is it Brian or O'Brien?
No, Brian. It's Brian.
It's Brian.
And Mr. Miller formally resigned.
Yes, he has.
Yes, we have
sent
a
in-
letter.
We have a letter.
I make a motion that we,
Now, on Caleb's, he gets sworn in tonight. And then,
Okay.
Then,
alright,
James will be, January. I'm sorry for all the confusion, but,
alright, I make a motion that we, accept the recommendation, by Mayor Banks to appoint Caleb Gay to fill the unexpired term of Jim Rutledge, and that we swear him in tonight.
okay,
And I'll second.
all right. Any other discussion? No time, all in favor? Okay. All right, while we're on this, let's go ahead and do, Don's right quick, what's
Okay.
under this. and
I
then
make a
we'll switch.
motion that we, accept the recommendation of James Bryant to fulfill the seat, vacated by Don Miller,
And then he'll be sworn in January.
January.
With, Andrew. Okay, all right, can I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, any other discussion on that? Okay, all in favor? Okay, all right, right now we'll go ahead and swear in Caleb. If Caleb, you wanna come up?
Sorry about my appearance.
That's okay, that's okay, that's okay.
Hey.
Sorry. Is that,
I'm moving,
is that the
so-
front, is that the front of the Bible?
It is.
Okay, I'm sorry, most of them has the front of it, so anyway.
We're gonna take a picture of you, yeah.
Yeah, I'll take a picture later.
All right, place your right hand on the Bible, is that right? Right hand. Right there. All right, and repeat after. I, Caleb Gay,
I, Caleb Gay,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully perform the duties
that I will faithfully perform the duties
of the council member of Town of Talking Rock.
of the council member of the town of Talking Rock,
Okay. And that I will support and defend the charter.
and that I will support and defend the charter,
Therefore, as well,
therefore as well
the Constitution and the laws
the Constitution and laws
of the state of Georgia
of the state of Georgia
and the United States of America.
and the United States of America.
Okay. Congratulations. All right, now you sit up here.
You take this.
All right, now, do you need?
You need me for underneath. You need.
Well, let's just do
Can't
this.
vote on.
Yeah, let's,
Let's go ahead and get this, let us get this maintenance thing,
Right,
Right.
well, she
And then-
can't vote,
Yeah.
yeah, so we'll do that, and then
then we should be fine.
I'll get this,
all right.
and then now y'all.
So the next item is, maintenance, cost clarification. And just wanna make sure, you know, I ain't,
Okay, I make a motion that we do that maintenance cost through December 31st.
okay,
And I will second.
okay, all right. So we have a motion and a second to continue the 2,600 until, the end of December. Any other discussion on that? All right, if not, all in favor? Okay.
Oh.
You can't vote, sorry.
Retract that.
All right.
Just have it.
All right, so record that, who voted and, of
This
course, you
is
know.
gonna stay.
Thank you. Okay, all right. Now, if you need to leave, you can.
I apologize, I really do, everyone, but I think
Okay, we understand.
y'all probably don't want what he's had.
Cycle, baby, love you.
Come on,
better.
baby.
Hope you get to feeling better,
Okay,
sweetheart.
Caleb,
I'm going.
Caleb, if you wanna,
We'll see you
if
next
you wanna
time.
move up here and let, or it don't matter, it doesn't matter. As long as you got everything. Here's,
He's got a packet, we made him one.
okay.
We made
all right.
Andrew one just in case she came.
Okay, now, I think we're back on track here. I
We need
apologize,
clarification on Buffy's start date.
I apologize, on this, but anyway. Okay,
Are we going back to Buffy's start date?
yes.
Okay.
I think that-
I've been training Buffy this month, so if we can technically say December 1st, or no, when did we start training? Was it the week after Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
So if we can make sure that she gets paid for
Let's
December.
do December 1st and we pay, because everybody is paid in arrears. So make sure she gets a check when we pay out December 31st.
Okay.
Is that fine with you, Buffy? Okay. All right, then I make a motion that Buffy's start date is officially December the 1st, and she will receive her first check from the town of Talking Rock on December 31st.
Okay. All right. So we have a motion and a second for Buffy to start on December the 1st and receive a check, 31st. Any other discussion on that? If not, all in favor? Okay. All right.
Your first official vote, Caleb.
Okay.
No, it was before, right? The one before.
Oh, that's true, but
All right.
welcome to the Nut House, Buffy.
Okay.
Both of you.
Okay. Repairs on Town Hall. Repairing the roof, replacing the siding on Town Hall facing 2nd Street. Install the metal on the roof side of the wall. And that's pretty much from the roof line up from the storefront.
I'm sorry, I don't understand what you're saying there.
On the back side of
Okay, on the back side, from what point you're saying?
from the roof to the top of the storefront. The step up. The step
Draw me a
up.
picture, I'm still not seeing it.
Alright. The back
Where the
side.
wood is, from there up to the peak of the roof, is that what you're saying?
No. The siding on the, facing the street side, where the wood siding is on. And I also installed metal on the roof side of the wall, where the concrete block is exposed.
Are you saying on the inside?
Yeah,
Oh, okay. That was part I didn't understand.
okay.
You said roof side of wall.
Yeah, roof side of the wall.
Okay. That
Alright.
makes sense.
So anyway, to bring you up to date there, me and Mark Grizzle, we went and took the fire truck and went back there and I'm not going to never say 100%, but 99% sure that we found the leak, how the water's getting in. The last 2 heavy rains, one this week and the one a couple Saturdays ago that blew real hard and stuff in the middle of the night. There's no water in the floor back there. Mark had suggested a fellow by the name of Chris Mays to come up. I've already got one estimate before that. But this estimate is using metal besides any kind of siding, because metal lasts longer, it doesn't swell and contract and everything. So I mean, it's sealed at one time. And his estimate also includes installing the metal on the back side of the wall, so to speak, of the rear of the building that faces 2nd Street. The only thing that we would have to do is remove the siding, but he would strip, that includes stripping the metal on both sides and stuff, and a new cap on the top of the roof. His price for that is $2,869. The gentleman I got before on the bottom.
Both sides of the wall?
Yeah, that's totally about it. The other gentleman quoted vinyl siding, because I thought that's what we was wanting. His price came in $2,500, but it wasn't including the back side of that. If the Chad and them did the work, materials would be $1,200. I mean, if we done
Can the maintenance department do the work?
well, I mean, yeah, they could. I mean, yeah.
But if the other guy does it, does he guarantee it not to leak?
Yes. He He's the one
then wouldn't that be our best bet?
Well, I
Get a
mean, I-
guarantee for it not
yes,
leaking?
I mean, I agree, you know, but, you know, like I said, I'm just giving y'all options.
And I think this is really outside the scope of the maintenance
That was
contract.
my next question.
Yeah,
But you know, like I say, we all for years thought the water was coming in at the bottom and it was not.
well, that's why when you say 99%, because how many times have we heard
I ain't
it
gonna say-
stopped? And then we come in and the whole place is flooded. Okay,
Now,
do you wanna do, let's,
and I
before I
will,
make a motion on that, can we go ahead and do the roof too? That way I can just do one.
yeah, that's what I'm saying,
Okay.
yeah. But now, if y'all wanna make sure, we can hold off another month. If y'all wanna make sure, but I'm just reporting, you know, that we're 99% sure, that's why, you know, that's why I didn't say anything before, but Mark said that he says it is, so.
Well, I mean, you know, if we're wrong, we're wrong.
Well, yeah, but I don't wanna keep putting money into this thing.
Well, I know, but I think taking a chance on 2,800 versus what we have put in it at times and thought it was gonna work, this is just a drop in the bucket to what we've already tried.
Y'all can go ahead and prove it and let me give him a start date after the holidays. I mean, he could say he could start next week, but, like I say, I'm pretty sure it's gonna fix it, so we can go ahead if y'all want.
Let's, okay, let's discuss the roof and then I'll just make one motion on all of it.
Okay, the roof, or repairing the roof, all it is caulking up some nail holes and stuff, and a couple of base screws, so you're talking $100. And that's something the maintenance department will do. And I tell you what it is where people has screwed it down and missed the lath, which is the 2-4 that the metal is screwed down to, because I can see some of the holes back there, so that's something.
Well, it's not only that, but it's also those washers that are on those screws wear out, because that's what happened on mine. And I would rather, is there some way rather than caulking it, because I know from experience that caulk doesn't always work, can we just take where we think it needs to be caulked and just put a new screw in?
No, because,
Because the holes are in the wrong place?
yeah.
Okay. Can you put a bigger washer or anything on it?
Well, I'll tell you what to do. Let's go ahead and do this, and then I'll ask him to look at it while he's up there and find out what he would charge to do it.
I mean, I don't deny that it needs to be done, it's just, I know what I went through with my own. And, all right, I make a motion that we approve replacing the siding on the town hall facing 2nd Street. And I'm gonna word this as install metal on the inside of the wall, so that people know what we're talking about.
Okay.
And approve it
For Chris Mays?
for Chris Mays, $2,800,
Well, it'd be
starting
20
immediately.
well, it'd be 2869.
Okay, let's, not to go over $3,000.
Okay.
How's that? Alright, so here's my motion. I'll reword it for both. I make a motion that we approve Chris Mays to replace the siding on the town hall facing 2nd Street and install the metal on the inside of the wall as well, not to go over $3,000 and just go ahead and start immediately.
All right.
That's my motion.
All right, I have a motion to use Chris Mays and the price don't go over $3,000 to replace, to install metal on the back side of the building facing 2nd Street and along the roof also. I have a second. Do we have any other discussion? If not, all in favor? Okay.
Alright, I make a motion that we table the repairs to the roof to discuss it with Chris.
Yeah.
I make a motion that we table the roof repair.
Okay. All right, I have a second. Okay. Any other discussion on it? If not, all in favor? Okay. next item is Red House.
Red House. Okay, I spoke with Mr. Tharp, who is the attorney handling this, on Friday. And the appraisal came back, that was appraised at $25,000. But the payoff on the lien on the property is now at $29,000. So, he has reached out to the attorney that is in charge of the Ford Motor Credit lien on the property, and is trying to work out is trying to negotiate with them on a price to pay that off. Because he says he's gonna tell him, you know, you can either do this or you can fight the court for it. Because if you don't agree to this, then we're just gonna put the money into the court and you'll have to fight over it. So, that letter went out to them this week, and he's hoping to hear back from them within the next week to 2 weeks. And he's also reached out to both property owners on it to make sure that they are in agreement with it. So it is moving forward. He's really trying. He had hoped to get it done by the end of the year. He said we might still do it, but it's probably going to carry over into January. Just an update.
And Jeff, I'll bring you up to speed on the situation. It was already way in the process of doing. It's a attorney that handles DOT and highway.
Henry Tharp out of Dalton?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll bring you up to speed of what's going on with the group. He's involved.
The title on it was so complicated. He called me on Friday and he called me back and he said, okay, can you give me the rundown on this again? Am I reading this correctly? And I said, you're reading it correctly.
Okay.
It's a mess.
All right. So the next item is soil and erosion ordinance update.
Okay, at our last meeting, we approved the definition update portion of the soil and erosion sediment control ordinance that we have. When I took it back to the people with non-point source, we have to, in the process of going back to being issuing authority, the state ordinance was updated in 2016. So I am making a motion that we update our ordinance to match the one that was done by the state in 2016. They didn't tell me this till I sent them the other, so.
Okay, so basically what we're doing is we're just following the state minimum requirements on the soil and erosion. So it's nothing, I mean, it's, it's nothing that we're trying to do above and beyond what the state is, so.
It's what's mandated by the state in order for us to be an issuing authority.
So
the motion's on the floor.
So you're making a motion to update the soil and erosion ordinance to coincide with the state regulations.
That was adopted by the state in 2016.
Yes. Okay.
I'll
Now,
second.
all right, I have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? If not, all in favor? Okay. All right, the monthly maintenance fee, or monthly maintenance report. Like I say, Chad's dad had an accident in Tennessee, so he's up there. Just briefly, the new dehumidifiers got put in and everything seems to be working real good. Installed put up the Christmas decorations and stuff. Like I say, just noticed over the park, somebody has stole the women's hand soap dispenser. I don't understand that. Also, we had an incident at the park on Saturday night where a lady has apparently under the influence of something decided to park there for a while, but in the process of pulling in there, she hit the post and stuff and knocked the flyer barrel over and everything, but minor damage, so we couldn't get anything out of her anyway. So, like I say,
Is that what broke her window out?
No. But, like I say, it was caught on video, so the cameras do work some. So anyway, that's the report. Any other questions on that? Ms. Chazza here? Okay.
She's not being prosecuted, is she?
No, well,
Well,
now
When I
they
come
did,
by, the deputies were down there, so.
Not by us.
now they did take her, to get blood drawn.
If they charge her, contact whoever's handling it, and they could throw some restitution in if there's money to be paid back to the city. It can be a condition of her sentence,
Okay.
if you gotta spend anything.
Yeah, well, like I say, I mean,
I bet it'll go for Alan.
she's barely, but anyway, we'll check into that. There wasn't a whole lot of damage done. Okay, now, any other old business? If not, we'll go ahead and go into the new business. First item is, tree lighting.
We had our tree lighting service, and I think because we were in competition with two major college ball games, we didn't have a big turnout. We usually have 50 to 60 kids that show up. This year we did not. And that's, I mean, we've had 50 to 60 from when we started this, but this is the first time that we had a Georgia ball game going on, and then it was the Auburn game. So I think some kids missed out on seeing Santa because parents had to watch football games, so. But the ones that were there had a great time. Santa, as always, we have one of the best Santas in the world, so, it was a lot of fun. Even if we didn't have a major turnout, but it was fun.
Okay.
A and B.
Okay, the next item is the 2014 SPLOST Funds. And the question is, do you want me to explain it, or are you going to explain it?
I presumed what the question was after I looked at what you sent me, which is that there's some conflict
Yes.
as to what your SPLOST funds are for.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Because
because,
the ballot specifically said one thing and the agreement
yes.
specifically said another thing. What was the intent, by the way?
Well, see, I don't know that the ballot disagreed. I think where the discrepancy is coming in is everything that was advertised and what we were told was on the ballot was that it was going for Parks and Recreation. That's what it was advertised for.
Well, that's what the ballot says.
That's what's on the
Okay.
ballot.
Okay, but I
But
don't
the
know.
agreement contained language, it contained the ballot question, which said Parks and Rec, but it also had a chart that stated that instead it was road, streets, and bridge projects. So there was.
Exactly.
There.
And so, and the report that the county sends over says roads and streets. And it just clicked that, okay,
What'd y'all ask for? Parks
well,
and Rec or roads and streets?
none of us were in office.
Okay.
But it was presented to us that it was going, when we voted on it, that it was going to be Parks and Recreation. And so, at this point, I don't care where it goes, I just don't want to, down the road, somebody go back and look at all, and like I did, I happened to see some of the old advertisements that were sent out, pamphlets that were sent out, and saw where it was, that said that it was supposed to be going, and it's not. I don't want to get in trouble down the road because somebody come back and say, oh, well, you're supposed to be using it for this.
Sure. I think the strongest argument is for it to be Parks and Rec, because that is specifically what the voters presumably believed they were voting for. There's an argument that you could make that it could also be used for street, roads, bridges, because that is included in the county proposal, and Talking Rock's in the county too. So you could, if you just had to, I think probably utilize it for that too. I think the stronger argument's for Parks and Rec though, because it does say on the ballot, Talking Rock, Parks and Recreation. So if you have other SPLOST funds designated for streets and roads from any other SPLOST,
No, this is the only SPLOST that
that's all
we
I got in the bank.
Yeah.
I would say that you have an argument that you could use it for either. And I believe either is covered by the ballot, which ultimately comes from the resolution. There's no real way to resolve the conflict in the resolution, but I'd say that both are included in the resolution, both are covered in the ballot, and so I would say you could use it for either one.
Okay.
As long as we don't get in trouble, I mean, you know,
Because people are on, the question is what people are on notice it's being used for.
So, I mean, I did speak with Phil Landon, which is the county attorney. And of course, once we received that copy that was signed and filed, he said roads and bridges, because of the, or I don't know why he called that, but anyway, it's listed
It's in
there.
the chart.
Yeah, and then, but then you got the ballot showing the other thing, so like I say, we just wanna make sure.
You're not limited to roads and bridges.
Okay.
okay.
People voted on Parks and Rec specifically, and roads and bridges in general.
Well, it wasn't so much as being limited to roads and bridges. We just didn't want to get in trouble for us. We've already used the money on roads and bridges, and then somebody come back and say, oh, you weren't supposed to do that. So we just wanted clarification on it.
I think that, and those are all, none of those are peculiar uses anyway. Most SPLOST are gonna cover those anyway.
Okay.
So you're well within, I think, your rights to use it on either one.
Okay,
All right, good.
all right, good, thank you. All right, next item is new locks for town hall. I would also like to, under that, maybe add a thermostat for this area here, or this side of the town hall. Since we've had so many turns in personnel and stuff, and to assure Buffy's security, and because I mean she's going to be liable for the books and stuff, so we want to make sure that she is well aware. And I printed this out for y'all. For Home Depot, it's a programmable, and also you can use a key deadbolt system for $29.88 from Home Depot. You're not going to be able to find anything cheaper than that. I mean, a normal lock would probably cost that much. So what we have decided to do, and we can discuss this next, but Buffy wants to move up to the front office where the window is. Since she's here by herself and uses the office more, I'll let her do that. And that office does have a deadbolt, so she could put this on there. The second room for the time being, until my goal is, if this is dry, stays dry and stuff, is to, build a little storage area back here, just past the restrooms here, to file stuff. For the time being though, since she's moving up there, that we use the second room for a storage of files and stuff until we get everything went through and everything that is disposed of and properly filed and stuff, because I'm not down here that much anyway. So the front door, it's amazing how easy it is to use something to get in. So we need to install a deadbolt on there. So anyway, so there'd be a total of 3 locks on there, for the 3 doors on that.
There's only one lock on each door.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. But there'll be 3 locks for the 3
We're
doors.
purchasing 3 locks.
For the doors.
Okay.
Okay. Now, as far as this thermostat, let me tell you the reason behind this is, this is a Wi-Fi, which you get a free downloadable app on your phone that you can control the thermostat on this side. It would just save, say like, the meeting tonight or another meeting, we can turn the heat on or off, get it warm before we come down and cut it off, or as we get this thing, or we can use it again as far as renting it out. You know, a person can come down and say if somebody's having a meeting or something, we can warm it up or cool it off, and then after they leave, we can bump it back down and try to save money. Honeywell is this is a cheaper, pretty cheap Honeywell and everything. So anyway, that's the reason I recommend that.
Does that one notify you if it cuts off or gets below a certain temperature or messes up?
No, I
Are
don't.
you able to do that one on that one?
No, I don't think so. I could look into one. I was just trying to sort of minimize. I mean, we could check it,
I
you
mean, I
know.
think you still need, if it doesn't do that, you still need to come check on it occasionally.
Oh, yes, but I mean, as far as on the routine, you know, after somebody uses it or something, we can look.
Make sure it's been turned off.
Right,
So
right.
if we open this back up to the
Yeah.
public for parties,
Yeah, so that way, at least, I mean, you still need to come down here every so often and check.
But this keeps us from having to come down before the
Yeah.
party an hour before we turn it on and do it on.
Yes.
And it's
So-
done by the phone.
So anyway, that's the reason being, and hopefully that will cut our usage of power and propane down. So anyway, that's my recommendations on that.
Got that one too? Okay, I make a motion that we buy 3 of the locks, and that we buy 1 of the programmable Wi-Fi thermostats for this building.
Okay, I have a second. All right, any other discussion? If not, all in favor? All right, the next item is purchase QuickBooks. That is the email here. I made some notes here. Just trying to get this set up for the first of the year. You know, Councilmember Cheryl had spoken to him before, and I re-innovated there today, talking to him just to clarify some things here. You can buy QuickBooks, the desktop version, for a price of $889.95 with 3 users. But the problem is they said, and I know what you said, but they said it had to be networked together to be able to use the information,
Yes,
to be able to use,
the computers have to be networked.
you know, for all of them to work and keep up
Right.
with the
It's not online.
Right. Anyway.
And also does not, that price, from my discussion with him, that also does not include your technical support.
Oh, no.
If you have a question and stuff for it, it does not include that. So that's another cost.
Okay. But Buffy's got a book. She says, as far as online support, it's not helpful. But anyway, with the online, you get up to 5 users. Also, the latest updates for free. So if they come up with an update, you get it for free. It automatically backs up the data, so you don't have to remember anything. And then if one computer crashes, it's still there. So all you have to do is move to another computer. It is you can use it on tablets and phones too, if your phone is capable of doing that. The security, as far as encrypting the data, is the same as banks, so it's not easy, you know, I'm not saying it can't be done, but you know. And then one thing that you can add on to this, and I was just asking her this, or she said, do you take credit cards? She said, no, but it'd be a nice thing to do, but I'm not sure what I'll use it to work. But anyway, if you set it up to take credit cards, you know, as paid, the cost would be 2.9% plus 25 cents. So I give an example of $50, it would cost $1.70 for that transaction. I don't know how what is it, E-Square or Square?
Yeah.
You know, and I don't know what y'all use out there.
We just use merchant services.
What's that?
Merchant services is what we
Okay.
use.
Well, this is, I thought, they said this was tied into it or somehow, but anyway, I was thinking it might be easier, you know, I'm not sure, you know, like for Heritage Days and other events, of somebody being able to pay with a credit card. You know, like I say, I mean, we don't have to get that, but that's just an option there.
Yeah.
Right.
We're good.
This also.
Yeah, we don't do cash.
This also does, budgeting, this version of it. And I'm not so sure, you know, since he said that we already had the QuickBooks mitigation price for QuickBooks Online Plus is what they said. It's it would be $30 a month for 12 months, and then it would go to the full price of $50. If we didn't do that, it'd be $35 for 6 months, and then it would go to $50 a month.
Right, but now, when we go to purchase this, we don't need the QuickBooks for business or QuickBooks from home. We need the one for non-profit.
But she said what you did was you selected that.
Yeah.
Because I asked her about that too. So anyway, so we can purchase one for $889, or, you know, right at $900, but it's ours, and it's, you know, like I say, it's not.
It's only usable.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Or we can do the basically $50 a month. We get all the updates and stuff and the new versions and stuff, and you can access it anywhere.
Remotely, yeah.
So,
I make a motion that we purchase the QuickBooks, or that the $50 a month.
so you're saying your motion is to
Online.
purchase online.
To do the
first?
online, yes.
Okay. All right. Do I have a second? Kelly, you second. First second. All right. Any other discussion on that? Any other comments or anything? I mean, like I said, I don't know anything on it, so I'm just trying to, any discussion on it?
I think that works.
Okay. All right. If not, all in favor? Okay. All right.
One other note, when we do this, they're gonna offer to integrate what's on the system now into the new system. We do not want them to do that.
You just want to set up a new.
Yes.
Yes.
Because when I talked to the technician before, he said because what we have, and this was done in 2004, so please understand, I was doing what I thought was best at that time. He said it has a lot of business stuff on there that we actually don't need, and that's what was causing some of the problems when we were trying to do some budget reports and stuff. It was trying to, he said this wasn't geared for a nonprofit. He said, which is what you are.
Yeah, if
So-
you're gonna do it, you need to set up.
Yeah.
Okay. I recommend we table this next item because even though what Jeff had said, I think we need to discuss how we're going to use the SPLOST funds and give the council a good idea how to do.
Okay, I make a motion that we, under new business, we table item F.
Okay. All right, I have a second. All right, Caleb second. All right, any other discussion? All in favor? Okay. All right. Just and I'm lost here as far as where we're at on the items, but I would just like to add one item as far as a work session, January the 2nd, at 6:30 here, to discuss the agenda for the Thursday meeting. And basically, as far as the work session, would like to discuss new ordinances, new codes for the town, how we go about that. Also, I guess, a plan, a 5-year plan or some ideas of what transpires next year.
And we need to prioritize what we want to do, so that we work down the list, rather than having this one going and that one going, and then there's not enough money to go around. Just decide what's. So I make a motion that we have a work session on January the 2nd at 6:30 here, and that agenda will include, not limited to, but included would be discussing a new ordinance, doing a 5-year plan on our comprehensive plan for the town. I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All right.
You didn't need me here for the work session.
No, basically, all we wanna do is get a game plan on, since Caleb's on board, and then, of course, I know Andrea and James won't be able to vote that night, but get them geared up, and then, like I say, we can,
You're
start
not gonna
planning.
vote unless you're gonna have a call meeting anyway.
Right, so,
Making
you know,
sure. Nelson's meeting's that night, so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we don't, need you on that. So anyway, so we have a motion on the floor to have a work session, January 2nd, 6:30 here at Town Hall to discuss, future plans and ordinances. Do I have a second? Okay, seconds. Any other discussion? Okay. All right, if not, all in favor?
I have a quick question though. Do the 2 new members have to be sworn in at a regular council meeting?
Yes, well, it says, well, it actually says in the charter, if I'm not mistaken, it says the first Tuesday, first Tuesday in the
I
month.
mean, you could swear them in at a work session, they could.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, and then that way,
Because they qualify as of January 1st presumably, so.
Okay.
yeah,
And the charter might say the first Tuesday, I can't remember, but anyway, we'll check that. Also, for the media, is a certain day, because we would like to start having work sessions a couple of days before the actual council meeting, because like I say, we do want to redo our ordinances books and some things. You know, if y'all want to be there, is a particular day
Well,
that,
Nelson, like Jeff just said, Nelson normally meets the first Monday of the month. Y'all meet the first Thursday.
okay,
So I cover Nelson and I cover here. So
so we need to do
I'm a
it.
big guy, but I can't be in 2 places.
right, but as long as we don't do it that first Monday
Right.
for you.
Yeah, but then like this meeting that you're gonna have on January 2nd, because January 1st is a holiday, they've moved their meeting to
Right.
January 2nd.
Which I understand,
Yeah.
and it's,
But
you know,
no, the Tuesday is not a problem. Not that I see, not for me as I see it now.
What about you, Mary?
I mean, we'll have to, I mean, I was just wondering if it was
We'll work
a
it out.
better day, you know, because that's one of the things that we'd like to discuss with the new council and stuff, to try to set up a regular, session, you know, to work on things. I think it's working well with, City of Jasper. I don't know about Nelson, but I think,
They decided to start canceling here.
Oh, they finally
Isn't
they finally
something a
started getting their stuff
repeat?
together.
It's a repeat of the other meeting, and is what even city council is now.
well, it is, but I don't know how y'all feel about it, but I think that it sort of gives,
Most cities seem to do it.
and it seems like you're more casual about talking about things and working it out, and then at the meeting, you know, it's normally just boom, 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 you know, so I was hoping that's the way we would do it.
Well, for me, it also gives me an opportunity to let the public know what you're considering.
Right.
The only problem with having the meeting on Tuesday night and then having your work session on Tuesday and your regular meeting on Thursday is both articles would be in the same issue.
No,
Because we have-
now, the only reason I've done it this way, I mean, is because of the holidays and stuff,
Yeah.
it's sort of hard. But I would like to do it, sort of the week before.
If
You
you
know,
do it, if
yeah.
you do it the week before, any night but Tuesday that week, for me.
Now, is it,
City council work session's the Thursday before
Okay,
the
so-
Monday.
okay, all right. We'll work on that, and
Maybe.
we'll try to accommodate, most everybody that we can, on that. But like I say, I just like to try to get things moving. Okay, all right.
Are you done?
Yeah.
I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
Okay.
7:40.
Okay. Motion adjourned, all in favor?